Hello, welcome. Okay, just give me a moment as I set up. I want to double check that I'll be able to see you guys. Okay. Wherever you are checking in from, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I'm here in sunny Torino, Italy, and today we'll be going through a couple of different things. Give me a second. Let's see, where are you guys dialing in from? So feel free to leave a comment and just say hi and let me know where you're tuning in from. It would be great to be able to see you. Hi Rebecca, hello, hi, morning. Okay, so I think I'll just begin. Today, this session will be covering a couple of different things. So first I'll just explain a little bit about the art of teaching yoga and how this group actually came about, and a little bit about myself. Hello, hi Pachingo. Hey, hi Tisha, hello, morning. So for myself, it's so nice to meet you. Those I'm meeting for the first time, my name is Wenlin, and I'm originally from Singapore, but now I'm based in Torino, Italy. And I teach here at the largest studio, Yoga Union, that is a bilingual studio that teaches mostly expats and some locals. And I've taught for yoga festivals such as Brighton Yoga Festival, also for private resorts, including Obonyan Private Resort, and also various different private clubs, fitness centers in Singapore while I was teaching in Singapore. But now my jam is mostly private yoga. Yeah. And with regards to this group, how it began was really have been teaching online classes, and some of my students have been asking me, oh, we love your classes, how can we get more information, or what advice would you give with regards to sequencing or theming your classes, and for example, I'm having this difficulty as I'm doing my yoga teacher training. So that's really how it came about, and it made me realize how difficult it is really as a yoga teacher trainee or as a new teacher. Thinking back to almost I think 5 years actually, when I first graduated from my yoga teacher training, I was completely lost. Yeah, I was feeling exactly like how you might be feeling now, not confident with my teaching. I had no idea what I was doing. I wasn't sure anyone would be, my student. Like, who was I to teach, right? I had such great teachers. Why would they learn from me? Why not from my teachers? So I had all the same doubts as you. And also, I had no idea how to find my students. This is some of what you guys have mentioned in the survey, and we'll look into the survey results. Yeah. So this is why I created this group. Okay, because I hope that there is a place for you to go even after your training. You don't feel like, suddenly I've graduated and you're thrown into the deep sea and you're lost and you don't know what to do. That's how I felt when I first graduated from my yoga teacher training. And I'm offering all the things I wish that I could have received when I was a student about 5 years ago when I first began teaching. So I hope that they will be useful for you. Yeah. And okay, let's have a quick look at the survey results. If you guys have had a look at the page, the Facebook page itself, I just quickly posted today. So I'm still, the results are still rolling in. I would like to see more responses because in my past life, before I was a yoga teacher, I had been working many years in the healthcare research industry. So I was previously a healthcare market research manager. So we went around interviewing patients and doctors to understand what their needs are. Because you can't come up with something that truly addresses what people need in order, unless you don't know what they want, right? Or what difficulties they're going through. So Rebecca, I've been teaching for about 5 years now. So 4.5, almost 5 years. I graduated officially in 2016, but I had been learning and moving through different movement disciplines for a really long time. Yeah. So going back to the survey results, okay? So this group is for you. It's not for me, it's for you, right? And it's for the me that, if I were a yoga teacher trainee, I would wish that existed. So I have to understand what you need. And this is why I created the survey, because there's still that researcher part of me in my brain. So that's why I posted the results as well. So probably you might be curious to know, what do other yoga teachers or yoga teacher trainees feel like? Are they experiencing the same difficulties as me? Absolutely. So if you look at the results, now you can click open another tab and just have a quick look at the first post right after the pinned post on the main page, and you will see already the various different responses on the top 3 challenges experienced by both those of you who are in training and those of you who have graduated. So just quickly summarizing, I would say the key challenges are you don't feel like you know enough. This is both for trainees and those who have graduated. Secondly, for those of you who have already graduated, you feel like you don't have an avenue to teach, right? With more and more yoga teachers being around, every other person is a yoga teacher. Where are you going to find students? We'll get to that. And then those of you who are still in training, you might feel that you don't have the confidence to begin teaching, to begin accumulating experience. So that's what we'll be addressing in next week's episode. So be sure to stay tuned for that. And there's one other thing that was mentioned is for some of you who have already graduated from yoga teacher training, you mentioned you don't have a mentor to help you. Okay, I felt the same. I was like, where is my teacher? Where am I going to find a teacher to guide me? Who do I look up to? Okay, so today here, by being here and having this resource, I hope that somehow I can be able to guide you and share with you so that you don't need to go through the same process that I did when I began 5 years ago. Yeah, okay, all right. So just quickly looking through, and you can take your time and look through the results. I might post more of the survey results on the other questions as they come around. Now let's get through to the next part. Okay, I want to talk a little bit about the accountability challenge. So if you joined our mailing list, you should have received a welcome email and should have talked a little bit about the accountability challenge. And those of you who are already in the Facebook group, if you're not already, please go over to community under groups, click groups, and you'll find yoga, Art of Teaching Yoga Kula. And from the Kula, you should be able to click to join the Kula. So there'll be some resources that will only be available if you're in the Kula. Please join the Kula, and all the updates will be there first. Yeah. So in the Kula, every week there is a weekly accountability post. Let me tell you a story, okay? It begins with a story. What is this accountability? Well, about a year ago, my husband and I, we began a group called Tuesday Tribe. Because I believe that, it's not difficult to begin something, really. With willpower, you can quite easily begin a project, an idea, or work towards your goal. But if you've seen the weekly accountability email, what happens is often you get discouraged, sidetracked, or you then give up halfway, or you lose steam. I know this is for me. I'm really good at getting a burst of inspiration, doing a damn lot of work in like 3 days, and then after that I'm like, oh my god, the project is not going to come to fruition, it's too much work, it's too many things, and then I lose hope myself. I lose that trust and the faith, and I give up, and I just think, it's not gonna happen. But with accountability, it works. Okay, so what happened was in this group, we actually met up weekly on Tuesdays, and then after that, because of some issues, it transitioned to an online group. So every week on Tuesday, we would post a post saying what our goal is, what we plan to do that week to bring the goal towards fruition, and how, whether or not we manage to do it. So that's the second part, and we'll get into that next week. So this week is the beginning week. So you just set the goal, okay, one small thing that you can do, and you commit to doing it, and you declare to the world. Everyone in the Kula is there to support you. Declare to them, say it loudly, proclaim to the world, and trust that they will help you, okay? This is not easy. Trust, being able to admit what you want. Say that you want it, and say you're willing to put the work to realize it. Okay, this is the first step. Let's go back to the story. I sidetracked a little bit. So my husband, Luca, he's one hell of amazing anchor of consistency. He is the single example that, to is certain that consistency is the reason behind success. 77 posts later, every single week at one post of accountability, he has published his 5th book, and he's a researcher on human behavior. So see what that realizes, you know? And throughout that whole experience, I have changed ideas, I've dropped off or whatever, but he has stayed consistent, and that accountability, that posting in the group every single week, showing up, being there and showing other people, inspiring other people as well, is what I hope to share with you guys. And this is why I've created this, not just as a purely resource group. Okay, so you need the knowledge, information. When we apply it becomes knowledge, right? Only when we apply it and take action it becomes knowledge. The second part is having someone to support you through the journey. Okay, something that annoys me right now with the current yoga education is there are lots of schools offering what is a school-based system. Okay, I take you through 200 hours, I take you through 300 hours, and then that's it. Goodbye, that's the end. And then maybe you continue, you do a single workshop, and that's it. And then you do another 3 hours of continuous education. That's hardly the point. Information is widely available now. Okay, there's so many sources of information. What people need is guidance. What you might probably need as well. I'm not sure about you guys. Feel free to reply in the comments about how you feel about accountability. I'm a little bit feeling quite agitated because this is something I feel strongly about, is the encouragement and support to take action on the knowledge you've acquired. Okay, there's one yoga teacher that I follow, and that she's called Naomi Epsilon, and she has this saying that, you know, she teaches to practice what she has learned. And I feel that that is an amazing quote and something that truly resonates with me. And the reason why I also want to share this, you know, in a kula in the form of both resources, accountability and community, to keep this going, because it's not a sprint, it's a marathon. If you want to be a yoga teacher, not just a certified one, a great yoga teacher that inspires students, that leaves them with food for thought even after they leave the studio, yeah, then this is a marathon. And I hope that, you know, we can be on this marathon together. For a long time, I was running alone, and I felt, oh, if only there were people running with me. You know, I've been running alone for a long time. Yeah, so this is what I hope to share with you guys. And yeah, sorry for the long spiel. Okay, so going back to the accountability challenge. Yeah, thank you so much, Disha. I'm glad that you're here, and I'm glad that it's of value for you guys. So I've seen that some of you guys have seen the post in the Kula but not yet commented. It's scary, and I understand it may take time to come up with a goal. So it doesn't need to be an incredibly big or ambitious one. Yeah, thank you so much, Rebecca. Yeah, I agree with you. The practice element, yeah, teaching what you've learned. So take some time this week, for the next couple of days, if you haven't decided on a goal yet, choose a goal. Okay, something your heart truly desires, that you would proudly say, you know, if you manage to realize this, you'll be like, yes, shining with pride, you know, full of respect for yourself. Choose that, and then commit to break it down even more. Okay, what is one tiny step? What is one small goal or action that, you know, you can do to move yourself closer to what looks like a huge mountain? Yeah. You know, in Spain, they have this Camino de Santiago, which is a long route that takes people through various different, very scenic routes. And lots of people, when going through transitions in their lives, they choose to take that long journey walking through. But every single step is what brings you closer to the goal. And I hope that today, somehow receiving that email, seeing this video today, seeing the post in the group online has changed or ignited something inside of you, and that you will join me to begin to be accountable for your dreams. Yeah. Okay, so that was it. Okay, let's talk a little bit about the Thursday weekly episodes. So every Thursday, you can expect an episode that it will be either me, or hopefully, I hope over time there will be more people I'll be able to invite. So I'll review a little bit more later on, but let's just talk about the format of the weekly episodes. So every Thursday, at this time, which is 1 p.m. Italy, 7 a.m. US, and I think it's 7 p.m. in Singapore, you'll receive and be able to tune in live into a Facebook Live episode on one of the topics that you said you're struggling with, that you are having challenges with. Next week's episode will be on 5 tips to teach with confidence, because struggling to teach in a confident manner is something that many of you guys have said that you are undergoing right now. And I hope that by having this episode being the first, it will be able to provide some immediate and quick tips so that you can implement that into your practice. And the week after will be on how to save time planning lessons. So in the survey, I also asked you guys, is there anything else I can help you guys with? What other support do you need? So one of you guys actually mentioned that you want to efficiently and effectively prepare and deliver a great class. So as you teach more and more, if you teach studio classes, if you work full-time for a studio, you'll begin to realize that you have very limited time to teach and to plan classes. So how you plan and structure your classes is very important. And this is also important for you even as you are beginning to start to learn how to plan your classes. Because good habits, when you begin a good plan, what happens is then later on you need less refinements. So the structure and the habits or the systems that you put in place are really important. And I'll talk a little bit about how I personally save time to plan my classes and how I recycle or how I repurpose some of the different elements, how I structure and format them. And I'll be sharing that the week after on Thursday. Okay, so let's go back to that. Yes. And then the weeks after, there will be a couple more different episodes, and I'm just updating the schedule as they go. And also within the Yoga Kula, there is still right now an active poll. Okay, so this group is for you. Right? So all the episodes will be based on what you choose. You have the power to choose what content is coming up. So please exercise your power and vote for what content you want to see. So I've seen that some of you guys also want to refine your voice. The 5 steps to moving towards finding a unique teaching style and voice. So there will be an episode on that. It should be the 3rd episode afterwards. You receive updates on that. And also, not to worry, there will of course be the free webinar on the art of teaching yoga, which is in September. I think it's the 5th of September if I recall correctly. And it will be in roughly the same format, but we'll do this on Zoom instead. So there'll be more room for interaction. I'll be able to tune in and see you guys live. You can raise questions. I can actually see your face. Yeah. And then we'll be able to workshop a tiny bit. There'll be some exercises that I hope I can share with you guys. So that will be that. And yeah, okay. So the last 2 portions that I just want to quickly share would be, I also have planned, and if you recall, within the list of resources, aside from email, accountability emails, weekly episodes, aside from voting, being able to decide the content that you like, I would also like to have expert interviews, and I'm thrilled to share with you and announce that, yay, we have Bernie Clark. I'm going to interview Bernie Clark for you guys. I'm so excited. If any of you guys have read Your Body, Your Yoga, you will know and be able to feel what I am feeling. And if you have not read the book, you should. Okay, no worries if you're like, what's this book, what's going on? We'll get to that episode and I'll formally introduce you, Bernie to you. He is one of the teachers that I consider a great yoga teacher. He has weekly free content that is at an extremely high level. That's on anatomy, that's on yoga philosophy, on teaching yin yoga. And I'm excited to share him and probably many other teachers as well with you. So during that episode, we'll be talking specifically about functional yoga, and I won't talk too much about it right now, otherwise I will just blah blah blah, and this will never end, and you will spend the rest of the day listening to me talking. But Bernie Clark, okay, stay tuned for that. It will be one of the episodes. Bookmark that in your calendar, Thursday, okay. What else? Okay, And let's go back to the accountability aspect. There'll also be something that you can look forward to. So many of you guys express interest in the teaching as artistry workshop. So I want to share a little bit about this teaching as artistry workshop, and I'll go in depth on this in one of the episodes first on like the approach to teaching yoga. But within this workshop, I would like to share with you not just information. Okay, so the structure of the workshop will be slightly different as to, for example, a normal workshop that you might attend with your current yoga school or another yoga school. Usually they will tell you maybe say 3 hours on this weekend. You attend the course, there might be some homework to do, and that's it. That's the end of it. But remember, this is not a sprint, it's a marathon. Hey, hey. So again, I'm going to ask you to commit. I invite you to join me. It's gonna be a month-long journey, but okay, so how it's structured is there will be first a workshop, and this workshop will be roughly 3 hours. I will walk you through various different contents on how to find your unique voice. We'll look at some different examples of existing great yoga teachers, how they teach, the style they teach, their lineage, what cues they use, you know, what makes them unique or great teacher. And then we'll look into yourself. Okay, so now that we've looked at the masters, you want to consider yourself. What are your strengths? Take a moment, we'll be workshopping through some exercises to identify your key strengths, your inclinations, what you prefer, what you're naturally drawn to, and maybe some of the things that other people have already said that, you know, you do well naturally without much effort. Yeah, so those are the key sets that you want to be looking at. And then we'll use that to map onto possible ways and styles of teaching so that you can get an idea, oh, okay, this direction might be the direction I want to go. And then, okay, listen, you're going to set a goal for yourself. Okay, I'm all about holding you accountable. Yeah, bear with me. Okay, hold yourself accountable, use the information that you've learned and apply it. Okay. During the workshop, at the last part of the workshop, I will give you time to set a goal for yourself. How can you apply this information? And then for the rest of the month, what will happen is you will schedule in a time slot or various time slots to actually take action on the goal that you've set for yourself. Yeah, it should be specific to the workshop on finding or coming up with a unique style or your unique teaching voice or your vibe. Yeah, and during those 4 weeks, what will happen is every week you will receive one accountability email reminding you. This is specific to the challenge, so you still get the weekly accountability emails from the normal Kula, but for those of you in this challenge, you get extra ones specific to the challenge. And there's a 20-minute private call with me. You'll be able to discuss. You can let me know if you have any challenges. I'll be able to provide you one-on-one coaching and advice specifically for your needs. So depending on your situation, you could prefer to have this at the beginning of the challenge as you're working through some ideas, in the middle, or more towards the end for a sense check. Yeah, okay, and then at the end of that month, on another day, we'll have a check-in session. So often, you know, I'm from Singapore, and in Singapore we're always fast, do, efficient, do this, get that done, you know. Take the time. Here in Italy we say prendiamo il tempo. Let's take time, okay? Enjoy time. Goditi il processo. Enjoy the process. Okay, and important, after it ends, review. Okay, so in my last job, we always did this thing called like a recap. Okay, and you probably have it if you have been in some kind of full-time office job, that they call this a post-mortem. So you sit down and you have a look and you think, you know, what went well? Okay, what are the top 3 things that went pretty well? You know, what were the kind of feedback, both external feedback and your own internal feedback? And then as well, there will also be the portion where you think about what are the areas for improvement. This is very important because, as I mentioned many times, this is a marathon, not a sprint. We're going to be on this road forever, and I hope that I can encourage you to continue to grow and not be just satisfied with being a good teacher. For me, I'm always thinking about how can I teach better? How can I do that even better, even better? And I hope that somehow, just seeing this video or being on this channel with me, you might feel the same, yeah? Okay, let's go back to the last part. So there will be a post-mortem or a review and celebrate session at the end of that month after the 4 weeks. And once again, all of us will come in together, we'll check in. There will be a moving meditation session, which I will facilitate. And it's something like using collective energy to pull through together everyone's efforts and intention. And then we'll do a short post-mortem, just reviewing. I'll get you guys to reflect through some reflection exercises and then look at what might be coming up for you going ahead. Okay, and then we'll celebrate. Yeah. So that's the structure of this learn and teach challenge and workshop. It might be a little bit different from what you're used to seeing. I've not personally seen anything like this before, and again, this is something I wish I had as a participant. So I'm very excited to be able to share this with you. Yeah. And that's it. I think pretty much I've covered almost everything that I wanted to share with you guys. Be sure to like and follow the Facebook page, Art of Teaching Yoga, for updates. Some non-essential updates, I'll be sharing them mostly on the page itself. Super essential updates will be within the group, and all the previews, the voting, important stuff that I need your opinion on will be in the group. So please join the Kula if you haven't already. And for emails, also whitelist my emails so they don't end up in spam. Yeah. And if there's anything else I can help with, just let me know, drop me a message, write me, and yeah. Okay, so we have a little bit of time. Does anyone have any questions? Sorry, I've just been blabbing, blah, 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 non-stop talking and talking and talking. Are you guys all right? All doing okay? All right. Great. That's great, Rebecca. I've seen that you checked out his book. It's really a really good one, Bernie's book. Yeah. And he also has a course. I'll be talking more about it as we reach his episode. So there are a couple more other yoga teachers that I plan to interview as well. And of course, this is subject to their availability. Let's hope, fingers crossed. Yeah. If there's anything else, like for example, also topics that you guys would like to be covered, experts you would like to interview, be sure to just drop me a line and let me know, and I'll be covering them shortly. And I've also forgot to address this. So after this first month, so you've seen the schedule, right, with the episodes and what to look up for. The next couple of months, yeah. Yes, Nadia, you're in the group already. Yeah. So in the next couple of months, every month there will be a theme with respect to all the episodes that will be covered. So for example, right after the first 2 episodes, and also the webinar, we'll be covering your voice and your unique teaching style. Yeah. And then afterwards, that will be focused on theming, how to theme your classes, ideas for class themes, how to improve and supercharge the way you theme your classes. And then slowly, progressively, we'll then look on to sequencing, we'll explore cueing, we'll explore anatomy and various different things like that. Yeah, so that's how roughly it's been structured now. Yes, I do know the time of the 5th September workshop. You can scroll down. Trisha, you can just open another page for the Art of Teaching Yoga. If you scroll down under events, you should be able to see the date, the exact date and the time for the webinar. Yeah, I think if I recall correctly, it is 2 p.m. Italy time and 8 a.m. in the US or something. So I recall on that day, some of you guys might have training, so it's been timed so that it should end before you need to rush off for something else. Yeah? Okay. Yeah, and that's it. So in future, next every Thursday, or most of the episodes will be about this length. So half an hour, nothing too long. And if any of you guys want to stay a little bit longer and chat with me, yeah, I'm very welcome. I don't want to hold you guys up. You might have a long day ahead, or you might have already had a long day. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, and that's it. Thank you so much for joining me and for being on this marathon. So if you haven't posted the accountability post yet, take some time. And then brainstorm a couple of ideas. It doesn't have to be a big one, a big goal or dream, just something that really resonates with you, that you truly desire. And then, yeah, post it in the group. Let the power of group accountability make it happen for you. Okay. The workshop will be the workshop itself. Okay, so the webinar will be 1 hour. Okay, just under an hour. The workshop will be, so there will be two parts to the 3 parts actually. The first part of the workshop will be 3 hours. Then we'll have 4 weeks to apply the knowledge. And the last part of the workshop, which is the review and celebrate post-mortem, will be 3 hours again. So I'll post all of this and more details. You'll be seeing them in your newsletter, in the Facebook group, also in the private Facebook Yoga Kula as well. Yeah, and then if you have any questions, always just let me know. Okay, all right. Thank you so much, Nadia, Tisha, Rebecca, anyone else who's been tuning in also. Yeah, feel free, Patching Gal as well. Yeah, thank you for being there, and I hope you guys have a great day ahead, and see you next week. Take care.